And second piece, I want to go over about the loan sifter and the underwriting guidelines that I was mentioning. So let's assume that we are running an 80% LTV on a single family home. With 1% rebate, what we see today is Mutual of Omaha, Mega, Loan United, M West. So let's look at Mega and M West. You may wonder what kind of items they're asking for. You can download this matrix and underwriting guidelines for each investor by clicking the letter I button. What I encourage you to do is download each item, and when you go into Gemini, you simply upload these two documents and compare. Or if you want to know the reserve requirement for the mega capital, ask what is the reserve requirement for a full doc loan. You don't have to read all these pages. You can read all pages, but in case you don't want to, Gemini can help you to summarize the details. And let's assume that we have a client that we are following up with our agent. This is the model that I created using Gemini. And let's say that I need to follow up on certain documents or clients, but the notes that I have wrote were weeks ago. I don't remember where to begin with. And in this case, I can click this Gemini button and then ask, which client do I need to follow up first? Even though it's in different language, it will pick up, transcribe, translate, and then give it to you. Whichever language you put in, it will send it back to you. So they're saying I need to contact this person first because it's the latest without any update. So if you click this last edit button, you'll be able to see all the versions of an update and who updated it. So just by looking at it, now I need to know who to call, who to follow up. What I want to emphasize today is that we do so many mundane, repetitive work without using Gemini and thinking that we are doing so well. But problem that I want to raise is that we are implying a 10, 15-year-old sales techniques that we shouldn't use anymore. We want to, and we will, organize better so that we don't have to go back and forth. I really want all of us to originate 10 to 15 files regularly for each month, and we can. We have better tools and better knowledge than 5 years ago during pandemic, and rates are coming down a lot faster than what we anticipated. So maybe you may wonder, you may collect too many files at this time without any rate locks. But if you lock in and if you practice this repetitive work, things will be easier months afterwards. Do you have any questions about the guidelines and the tutorials that we provided today? Can I see who is using Gemini regularly? And can you share your insight? Can you share where you're using Gemini at this time? Yes, Freddie?
Surprisingly, in another line of work for like tax preparation, it's been very handy. Researching guidelines like nationwide for me, how to apply tax laws in specific states. And more recently in real estate, I won a deal on a multifamily listing by taking an appraisal report, putting it into an AI tool. And the key is the prompt, right? You ask the right questions, you ask for the right summary, the right key points, and you will get exactly what you're asking for. So I guess it's getting trained on how to ask the prompts, ask the right questions, that ask for the right work to be performed. And I prepare a summary on the marketability of the property, potential commercial loan financing options and things like that. And we were able to win a commercial listing that way. And it took me less than 10 minutes. So that, I think when it comes to mortgage, I just see it as, obviously, it's somebody like me that's very challenged because I wear many hats. Just going straight into guidelines and taking the time to earn product and guidelines per lender, per loan doc type, etc., to summarize it instead of, like you said, reading 500 pages and probably not finding the answer.
Could one of you, whether it's Sarah, Peter, or Freddie, show us what you do in Gemini? Like share your screen. So I understand the whole, you could upload, a document in Gemini, or ChatGPT and say, hey, what are the reserve requirements? What are the five? That part I get. But as far as your day-to-day tasks, could you show us, Peter? Like, what is it that you do in your Gmail right now that you can just be like, I'm going to use Gemini?
Yes, I'll show you my screen. So this is what I do every single morning. I ask, which email do I need to check first? So this is how I set up my filters. So I labeled the lock confirmations. Well, first of all, Dream for All, Koreans in English, SBA loans, because of the deadlines, and some of the podcasts that I want to listen. And maybe these things can be pre-filtered as well. Lock desk, marketing, and rate sheet are the three major filters that I have. And anything that has a subject line of these words, and if you need them, let me know. I can help you to set this up too. Then your inbox will be shrinked. You don't have to be bombarded with all these, non-essential like rate sheets or marketing updates and stuff. And I asked Gemini, what email do I need to reply first or check first? Then it will give you some checklist. And I start from there, from top to bottom. So I have to locate, but by clicking this, it leads me to this email. Or because I haven't replied to this email that had an urgency mark or an index for more than a day, I'm gonna check it back to unread. And for example, Virginia lender license. This too, I haven't replied for more than a day. So it's asking me to reply back. So this is the first thing that I do before I start the day. And second is I go into my calendar and screenshot, let's say for today, screenshot today's schedule and ask, what is the available time slot for quick 15-minute call meeting? So I have this ready before I start the day, so that whenever anyone, loan officer, processor, or team member is asking for quick team meetings, I don't have to look back to calendar and answer. I usually don't put a same day, appointment or any schedules unless our team member asks. So these are my opening hours, so that I don't have to tell them such thing as, let me check my schedule and get back to you. I already have an answer before I start the day. So these two are taking the most time and energy at this time. So, but I usually try to do this within the first hour of the day, replying emails, checking up on the follow-ups. And lately I made two 30-minute to an hour block in between 8:30 to 9:30 and 4 to 5, so that at least I don't have to worry about my to-dos. Anyone else who wants to share how they're using it?
Yeah, I use it a lot. I use it daily for almost everything now. What I've been doing it for lately is I create a chat with Gemini for a specific borrower. I upload all their documents, credit report, and everything, and basically the breakdown of the scenario. And whenever I need to follow up anything, I could go ahead ask it. I also upload the underwriting conditions for that the certain investor I'm submitting it to, and it'll let me know. Like for one, it gave me a breakdown of all the things that they need to pay off on their credit report as well, things that they can dispute as also. So it's been kind of helping me a lot with just kind of like organizing everything.
Okay. Anyone else?
I usually use Gemini. I start using it very recently. Just create scripts for my listing presentation or buyer presentation. And it saves a lot of time for me. Yeah. And I am just gonna use that scheduling thing that Peter just said. I think that's just gonna help me save even more time when things get too hectic in the morning. And it's also my buddy. So whenever I have to go vent, it listens to me and it responds to me. So yeah, it's great. And it can straddle with both languages. That's the beauty of it.
And you can do all these from your phone. I just demonstrated
Yes.
what I do on
Yeah.
desktop.
So
But
I was driving on yesterday, and this is like my buddy. This is kind of dangerous, but I just had to vent. And Gemini was actually empathizing. I mean, literally sympathizing with me. So, yeah, it's great.
okay. Anyone else who wants to share? Yes, Harry.
For content marketing side, I'm just on social media sometimes and I find something that's very relatable to current events, specifically in the mortgage space. So I just screenshot that post. I send it to Gemini and say, give me the same content, but written in a different way. Same thing with captions. Instead of coming up with a caption to go along with the post, I just screenshot someone else's caption and say, write this in a different vibe. Obviously, I have to specify what kind of vibe, maybe interesting but educational or more clickbaity. But again, I'm not writing anything from scratch. Same thing as other individuals' emails. If it's like a email that I just don't know how to respond to, or it's an emotional email where I find myself getting angry, then you can just ask Gemini to make the response for you because it's unemotional. And so it just keeps everything business professional. And I think a lot of you guys have recognized that I've been taking your old headshots and using Gemini to make newer, fresher ones. And some of you guys like them, some of you guys think it's a little strange, but obviously the AI is still learning, but it can do stuff like that as well.
So, I mean, it's endless. However you want to use it can change the outcome as well. And team, I didn't go over about Notebook LM because when I was preparing, it was going over the 30-minute mark. But today's presentation was prepped by Gemini with a slideshow. And you can download a PDF or re-upload it to Google Slides so you can edit the content. If you're presenting for a different real estate company, or if you're creating a short and long form video using the attachment or the slideshow, it can be done. And Notebook LM, I'll just show you how, maybe if I can show you the prompts that I used, you'll be able to see how simple it was. So I gave a content of what I use, what I need to do, or maybe let's assume that I'm starting a brand new one. I am preparing a presentation for loan officers, how to use Gemini. Of course, there were longer prompts that I used, but I want to show you how Gemini is picking up the information, searching Google, YouTube, and Reddit, and it will give you 7 more sources from your topic. And then you click import, and it will suck in all the information from different creators and compile ones in yours. And it will collectively, give you jargons explaining to XYZs. So let's assume that we had all ready to go with all the check marks. Then depending on which button you click, so before I begin, I start with a mind map and find out if Gemini picked up my brain correctly. By looking at this, it helps me which topic that I need to cover first. And then after you review all these details and double check the content on the left side, let's say I want to use a workspace integration into multiple prompts, multiple ecosystem, then it will show you Gmail and Google Calendar relationship, Gmail and Google Drive relationships. And then once you are okay with the content, then you click the slide deck button. Then this will pop up. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So, and you can always change it too. The first prompt was failed one. Maybe I can show you the failed one too. This is how the first prompt came. So I did the edit. I told them what to change, what to take out, what to put in, and the second version came out. And if you want to listen to a podcast level, maybe if I can share this page separately, so you get to hear what I hear.
Imagine for a second that you have an intern.
Okay.
But not just any intern. This isn't the college kid grabbing coffee for the office. This intern works for free. They work infinitely fast. They've read basically every book in the Library of Congress, and they never, ever sleep.
Sounds like the perfect hire, honestly.
Right. But here's the catch. They are a little bit weird. They're essentially an alien. They don't really understand human social norms. They take every instruction you give them completely literally, and occasionally, just to make you happy, they will look you dead in the eye and confidently lie to your face.
Yeah, that is well, it's a terrifying but incredibly accurate description of exactly where we are with artificial intelligence right now. It is the alien intern paradox.
It really is. It's this incredibly powerful entity that...
And if you listen to this 20-minute talk, it explained to you the slideshow and the details that I was pointing out. And you can do all these from your phone. You can create this while you're driving too, if you enable the voiceover. Yes, Harrison.
One thing I want to mention is that for those who have not used Gemini yet or still feel like it's a bit daunting, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the word prompt many times in this conversation, which is a specific way to teach AI how to do what you want. You can even just ask AI itself to make the prompt for you. If you don't know how to write a prompt, then you say, I have a presentation for a doctor's loan to this specific person. How would you write the prompt to give me what I want? And it will also give you a prompt, which takes it to like 90%. Like everything, you should review it. But if you don't even know how to write the prompt, you can have AI write the prompt for you as well.
Thank you, Harrison. So things became so much easier than before. We don't have to worry about what to prepare, what to talk about anymore. And if you want to combine 5-10 different YouTube videos, you don't have to watch the YouTube videos. You can ask Gemini to summarize it for you, right? You copy the link, put it to Gemini, and ask, oh, maybe I can show you what I'm trying to talk about. So, enable, well, do the full screen. I searched first-time home buyer. Let's just use 3 videos. Summarize they are talking about. 3 different topics, 3 different timelines are combining into one. Why watch these 30-40 minute videos? Maybe if you have 10 more videos, why watch 400 to 500 minutes of these videos? Well, you can. Certainly, you have an option to watch them, but I encourage you not to do so because we have all these features and things are available. So use these and create Peter's way. So these are the specific prompts that I created within the settings to tell them, number 1, who I am, number 2, where I work at, number 3, what focuses am I emphasizing over the other. So if you put in, if I apply these for Home Ready team in Fullerton, how can this be changed? Let's be hyper-focused, identifying one company, and say, then they're going to Google search what Home Ready team are doing. They're doing average home prices at around $1.1 million. So we don't have to talk about, the first-time home issues that's happening under $1 million homes. So instead of talking about first-time home buyers programs, 3% down product, we have to talk about jumbo loans because their standard is not one of these FHA score, one of these homeowners. So if you specify what information you feed into Gemini, different details and guidelines will come out. And you have to give it a try and get used to it so that you understand what kind of borderlines, what kind of expectation you can have when you use these AI tools. We passed the 9th of 10:30 mark, but do you have any specific questions that you want me to go over today? If for those of you who's not using Gemini, please start using it and see the difference. I like Gemini over the ChatGPT because it can dive into Gmail, Google Drive, and Sheet at the same time. But if you certainly want to use ChatGPT over this, that's fine too. But I recommend you to copy and paste the response from ChatGPT into Gemini and see what differences that you can make. Thank you for hopping on today. Next week, we will go over either the loan product or the guidelines or the ERP. We're gonna talk internally and prioritize what needs to be done. Second, for those of you attending the Thursday the meetings, the location will be Il Fiora in Buena Park. I'll share the address in the group chat so we can meet all at 12 o'clock. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next week.